Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 30 Minutes in Dash. I'm your host, Felix Margo. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Thailand time, 3 p.m. West African time. So very happy to have you all back here with us, guys. And I'm super excited today because we have a very special guest. His name is Rishabh Gupta. He is the founder of MassDefi. He is running operations and investments for DEFI. He's advising multiple projects, invested in multiple projects. He is a very long time in this space. I'm very pleased to have you today, Rishabh. How are you doing?
Thank you, Felix. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the introduction. We all are trying to be there and evolve this space, be a part of this amazing times where we are seeing the changes. Just you are in a time where each and every penny that has been transferred to a country's economy can be trailed and audited. Right? We have seen recently blockchain, how blockchain donations were done for Ukraine, and each and every penny can be audited. This is what blockchain is, and I'm so happy and glad to be a part of this ecosystem, and not only a part of this ecosystem but contributing to it for the growth of it. So thank you so much.
Amazing. You're very welcome. And I'm pleased to have you, because for us, it's also super exciting. There's a lot of, always Western perspective in the blockchain world. So I'm always super excited to speak with people who are really from other ecosystems. My understanding is that you are kind of moving between Dubai and India. So these are really exciting ecosystems for us to learn a lot about, because it's very interesting of having different perspectives and different ecosystems, especially in this very fast moving space. Maybe to start with, explain us how you ended up here where you are right now. Like, what is your journey into blockchain and how has it been?
Interesting question. It's a long journey, so I'll still make it crisp, right? Thank you, everyone, for for me making me being here. So I started my journey in 2018. While I was back then, I was programming on Python and doing some data analytics on R and Python, and I ended up with a friend. He said, why don't you deploy your strategies, your algorithms on cryptocurrencies? And that's where I ended up deploying some algos on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that was my introduction to Bitcoin. First, creating those trading strategies. But then, as I got into this space, I joined a family office, OneX Capital, which was based out of Dubai, and investing in startups. I've always been a fan of startups. From the very beginning of my career, I've been working with startup space. From unicorns, I've seen their journey from becoming a unicorn to a decacorn, expanding from India to global scales. So I've been a fan of the startups. Are you there? But I'll still can. Yeah. So
Sorry, my
that's
internet seems to be cut for 1 second. I'm there. I hear you fine now. Okay,
okay. Great. Yeah. So
please
there,
go ahead.
I started working with a family office where we started we were investing in early stage startups in crypto. Doing checks of $100,000 to $5 million, investing across the fintech space, mostly because I come from financial markets. Our strength was in fintech space, so we were inclined towards a fintech space. With that was going on pretty well. We were making investments, having a great life. And then it was our curiosity that kept us involved in blockchain. So we were a strategic investor, always working with our projects in the operations, not only giving them capital but also our blood and sweat. And that's where so in 2019 we invested in a company called as Trade Dog, which is a research and advisory company that provides institutional grade investment advisory to the retail investors. That got a great eyeballs to it. Trade Dog has got more than millions of views on their reports and on their channels, and that established an acceleration arm called as TDFi in 2020, which is now one of the largest incubators and lifetime advisors for crypto startups. We help startups in their journey to become a unicorn, and to provide uh, value to this ecosystem, from their token structures, from their corporate structuring. What is the utility of a token, whether that whole idea needs a token or not, right? And then giving them an ecosystem. So some of our startups have become unicorns already in a matter of less than a year. And what we do is we provide all of this ecosystem together. We have been hosting events in Dubai. Now will be hosting more business hackathons across the world this year. and all of this value comes to the startups that we incubate. Apart from this, I have been also founded while during my journey in crypto. I identified there is a huge gap of adoption, and DeFi is still not adopted to its global scale, to its full potential. And that's where started MassDefi, which is taking DeFi to the masses. At the present, it's in the development phase. We are developing it. We are working on the product side. We are, and will be soon hitting the markets in a matter of few months. Yeah. So that's about myself.
That's just a little bit of what you do. So it's really amazing. Every time people tell, what are they doing in blockchain, it's already wow. It's really amazing. So I'm really, really impressed with what you say. And I couldn't agree more. It's about relationships, it's about good projects, it's about having the help and getting into the right direction. Plus, we are in this extremely fast moving environment where I think it's basically impossible to keep up if you do not have people around you who really help you, to bring these things to you. I mean, it always comes together very, very nice. I mean, let's unpack a few things here that you said, because I'm very much into, busy the last years to deal with mass adoption of cryptocurrencies. I mean, I'm the co-founder of Dash Next, everything Dash in Asia, you could say. And we were really starting in Thailand basically with the mama noodle shop in 2017, because the truth was Bitcoin, was everywhere in the media, but it was not in any merchant shops. It was not in any restaurants. So we went out and started that, scaled that up, and then expanded that approach to other countries. Now you say you do the same for DeFi. So I would love to hear kind of what is the concept, what is the problems you're trying to solve here, the main ones.
Yeah. So DeFi at present, it's a fancy concept. Not only a fancy concept, but it's a amazing solution to a real world problem. I myself have faced this problem, while during my education, during while I was studying in college, in my university. Taking Accessing capital for your education was a big challenge. The loans, although are said to be easy, but they're not that easy. You cannot avail a loan for education, for your a lot of other things that you need for your money that you're earning and putting in banks is earning less than 1%, less than 1%, or almost 0.5% of interest and yields across the world. I mean, come on, this is, the government is the money that we are earning and putting in banks is earning a huge interest, but we are getting just a small piece of it, almost insignificant, right? So essentially, what DeFi did was it removed all the intermediaries that are there in the financial space and brought the lenders and borrowers together in a decentralized space. So there is no one person who is actually approving whether I can access a loan or not. There is not one person who is telling me how much interest I should earn on my capital, right? It's a distributed ledger technology. I There are pools where money is, where the lenders are putting their money, and I as a borrower can easily access it. But there is a small catch here, and the catch is that this concept, how it's, although it's, it's so easy to listen to it, but it's not that easy for a retail user to access it. As an institution, I'm come from financial markets. I know what is lending and what is borrowing. How can I access it? What is MetaMask? How can I connect my wallets and earn? But as a retail user, it's not that easy, and that's where mass adoption lags. And that this is the problem that we solved. So we took up a problem, a very small problem, that we will take DeFi to the masses. So just like you said, DeFi, Bitcoin is available everywhere, but it's not available in the retail stores. That's what we did with MassDefi as an application. As MassDefi, you can come as a very simple user. You can do a recharge of $15 of your mobile. You can do a top up using MassDefi. At the same time, you can invest that amount of money in crypto. So what we will do is we'll simply take your fiat money, right, and using our banking partners, we will facilitate the transaction in a way that your money will be invested, and at the same time that collateral will be taken to give you a loan against your crypto. And this is all happening in a very simple mobile application. You don't have to worry about what's happening at the back end. The problem is the retail does not understand the back end operations. They don't want to get into that complicated hurdles of barriers. And we removed and we took over those processes, that this is, we will deal with these processes. Meanwhile, you just take advantage of the money that you are borrowing, or you're just enjoying the yields that you are generating on your capital through our banking partners. So what we did was we partnered with neobanks so that we can give a fiat user access to DeFi yields in a very simple 3-step journey. So that's the problem that we solved.
Okay, that's amazing. I understand that. I mean, yet it must be very complicated to figure out how all these things work. I mean, again, I did payment and bank connections for a long time, and you always think, okay, now we don't need a bank anymore. We don't need middlemen anymore. But you just said it. You allow people to pay with fiat, and there's all the problems you can possibly have building a company, I would assume. So
Yeah, I mean,
interesting you say. Yeah,
intermediaries
good.
cannot be eliminated. Intermediaries cannot be eliminated. We have to understand the fact that this ecosystem has been established. The traditional ecosystem has been established in long years, right? We cannot just come to it today and say, okay, remove it. We'll bring a new system. That's not possible. It has to be a complementing system. What we did simply was we just eliminated few intermediaries in one of the processes, which was redundant earlier. Anyway, banking would be needed. We cannot, go or remove the banking or replicate the banking systems infrastructure. Banking will be there, but just few intermediaries that were taking advantage of these information symmetry. Was just lack of information. I, as a user, didn't know where my capital is being deployed, so I said, okay, you manage my funds and give me 3% returns annually. But now what I'm saying is, I, as a user, can see my money is being deployed to these many pools. I just have to select, okay, this pool, this pool, this pool, and I'll have access to 10% yield. That's the only change that we have brought. And
Mhm.
this is how it is going to, slowly it will evolve into more efficient systems.
Amazing. Very happy to hear what you have built up already. Is that open for all users, or is that limited for certain nations or passport holders right
No,
now?
at this moment we are testing it, right? We are testing it. So that's in the beta test. It's when you are going to a retail user, we are testing the designs. We are going ahead with the best design. So we have a beta team, 100 to 150 people team who are testing the platform. We are checking the yields, how much we are generating before we take any money from, or before any user puts in their money. That app will be tested 3 times, 5 times, so that we don't there is no scope of error here.
Okay, I understand that. It's I guess it will be open firstly for European nations, for US dollars, is what I assume, because I'm asking these questions because I was so I so many times tried to onboard these different Asian countries, and the fact is, it's just so nice to have a European Union with all these countries on the one currency, the same like the States. You have a beautiful market there. It's just regulated. You tap in the US dollar, you're everywhere. But then you try India, Singapore. We are here in a Nigerian show, and then you go Japan. It becomes very complicated, and it kind of becomes a monster as a company to build up, right? Like how do you approach that problem?
Again, beauty of decentralization. We are actually, we'll start with, our idea is to just start with one country, and then, because we are not the one approving the interest rates, we are not the one who is approving anything, we're just bringing the pieces together. So we don't need to worry about the scaling up. The governance, the DAO, will have different people on the DAO from different jurisdictions. We'll start. Okay, so to answer your question directly, our plans are to begin in Middle East and Africa, right? These are the nations that have adopted this new technology at a pace that has left behind rest of the world entirely, right? I mean, I'm so happy that Africa as a nation, Africa as a, as the people of Africa have accepted crypto at a pace which is amazing, right? If I'm not wrong with the statistics, uh, Nigeria has the most crypto users, the largest number of crypto users for their daily necessities. So that's our first primary target countries, and then we'll move on to India, which is obviously a little difficult in terms of regulations, and then the other continents of the world. So yeah, we'll move slowly and gradually to those parts as well.
Okay, thank you. That makes total sense. Let's continue after a 1 minute break. I will be right back.
Thanks.
CNETv, the first and leading 24/7 live broadcasting blockchain, cryptocurrency, and fintech TV application. On our mobile app, you have access to our latest news updates ranging from esports, fintech, iGaming, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. We bring to you interviews, analyses, cryptocurrencies, market reviews, and live events. Download our app today from your iOS or Google Play Store or on our website at cnetv.io. CNETv, objectivity is our watchword.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, perfect. Okay, so we are back with our amazing guest and talking about MassDefi, how we can bring DeFi to the masses. You touched on another very interesting topic that since I actually discovered DeFi, I can say I lost my sleep in DeFi because I really it has such a gaming vibe, and it's so fun to learn these things, to start yield farming, to start lending, giving LP into a liquidity pool and everything. So it's really a lot to learn, and kind of once you open this door, you're diving into a rabbit hole of opportunities and of possibilities. And it's not stopping. It's becoming more and more and more. First, there was just a bit yield farming. Now there is yield farming on 20 blockchains. Everything you just said with lending, with all these things, it's happening on 20 different blockchains at the same time. So I would assume in order to kind of maximize the capital and the safety of your users, you would have a strategy in the background that kind of deploys capital onto different chains, into different protocols. Kind of, can you help us understand what the strategy is and how you make sure that what you do is more or less secure or as possible?
Yeah. So there is, in terms of the strategy, I'll keep it easy so that I can convey the message. So what we do is we have integrated different pools, different lending pools on the chains. Like we have primarily targeted the EVM chains. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry, you're not visible. So we have integrated these pools. We do analysis of multiple pools that are available on these chains, right? This analysis does not only involves yield comparison. It also involves how the pools have performed in the past, who are the teams behind it. So we do a complete due diligence of these pools. We deploy a algorithm that does a factor analysis of multiple pools based on multiple factors, and these factors are then considered to identify, okay, these are the best pools that are available in the market, right, that have generated good yields, and not only good yields but have the best credibility. We see a lot of rug pull scams happening in a lot of pools, people taking away the liquidity, and the investors are, the money is gone. So we don't integrate with those pools. And then after identifying the money, then there is a portfolio rebalancing done. So the money and this is done through a smart contract, right? So if you are deploying your capital, providing liquidity, then that liquidity will be deployed across multiple pools using a portfolio rebalancing strategy on an algorithm, and that will generate yields which you can access anytime. Obviously, as it's in the custody remains with you and a smart contract. The custody of fund doesn't comes to us. This is for the lenders, right? So this is, and then for the borrowers, we have come up with a very special feature which is called consumer loans, where you can access to take a loan not only for money but also to fulfill your necessities. Like you want to buy a device or a mobile phone, you can use your crypto as a collateral and directly buy that thing, right, without getting into hassles of converting to fiat and then again going to the store and get purchasing it. So all of those hassles are eliminated. And more so, there is this is about MassDefi. I guess a very simple answer to what we are doing to bring the change is we are making it easy. It sounds like so one liner. It's like, I'm making it easy. That's it. We are not reinventing the wheel. We're not reinventing any algorithms. We're just making it easy for you to access it. That's it.
I love how you explained that, yeah. And you did a great job putting it really in a nutshell, what is happening in the background without being too complicated, but complex enough to understand there is a thought process behind it, and there must be a big team behind it too, who's checking all these things, who's like working with the algorithms, who's updating all these algorithms. How many people are there? 200 is what I heard before.
Uh, 200? No, I
No.
don't think. No. So there
Sorry,
might be some.
might misheard that.
No,
How many
no,
people are
no.
working in the team right now to build that?
So in terms of the team, we have a technology team, then we have a business team, and then, as I said, I'm working with I'm also as running the operations at TD5, which is a crypto incubator. So we have the support, being a part of the accelerator. So I have the support of the entire accelerator with me, right? And that brings me to talk a little more about TD5 as on the mass adoption
Please.
side, right? So in the last 20 months, we have been working with some amazing founders who are actually bringing a real adoption to crypto. So just to give you examples of few of them, right? So we have been working with a company called as Edwards. Edwards, what it does is it has created a metaverse of educational content. Now imagine when you were in, do you remember your 10 intermediary classes when you were studying biology and you were studying the structure of a heart? It was in a textbook saying, okay, this is an artery, this is another, of your nerve, and okay, these are four portions of heart. I don't even remember it properly because back then we were not privileged to have access to metaverse. Now what they have done is created an entire AR structures and AR and VR content to study for every grade of student. If you're a eighth grade student, you can study the structure of heart live with wearing those VR headset. You will see how blood is flowing through each artery and each nerve and each vein, right? If you are an electrical engineer, you can study how transformer windings are put up in a transformer. So this is they already have 30,000 contents that will be available in the metaverse. Then we have a car chain which is in Dubai. So you want to invest in capital to the real estate, but obviously as a retail consumer or as a retail user, I don't have millions of dollars of money, but I do have few thousands of dollars. So how about if I fractionalize that whole property into NFTs, right? And then I hold that NFT, just one portion of it, and when the value of that property goes up, that price of NFT goes up, and I would be able to generate yields on my capital, and at the same time I will be invested in properties. Made it so simple, right? DeFi NFTs, you are now a real estate investor. Imagine like there another company called as Drive. This is a brilliant concept actually. So we all know about how different car companies big car companies are taking a surge in pricing, making the model so opaque that I don't know as a user how much I'll be paying for a cab, and the cab owner driver doesn't get the required amount that they deserve, but the company makes a lot of money because it's also opaque and centralized. That's where Drive, a blockchain ride-sharing platform comes in, 20 already 2000 cars or cabs are riding on that blockchain already in India, and now they're expanding to different continents, right? Putting up putting up putting up the ride sharing on blockchain. So this is how Drive changed the concept as a whole. So
Wow,
these are
this is
the, and there are so many other companies that I've been involved with. I'm representing TDFI on their boards, working with the founders on their operation side. It has made it has been a great experience for me, and I have applied all of that experience on MassDefi. Learn all the experience and then put up in MassDefi to make it what it is today.
fantastic. Wow, it's so much we could unwrap here. Unfortunately, the time is almost running out. We have one question from our audience, which is, how is DeFi applied for decentralized e-market and marketplaces? This is really an interesting one, and you just mentioned the metaverse. I would assume that DeFi, the metaverse, and the e-commerce world is somehow coming together beyond education, even though I think education is actually a brilliant use case and a very, very obvious one, also kind of from the persona that we are approaching here. I mean, young people, they play Roblox, right? They play Minecraft. If anyone knows how to use a metaverse, it's people 15 years and younger, I would assume. But what do you see? How do you see the e-commerce space and marketplace space is evolving right now in terms of DeFi?
Very nice question. And just to answer your first piece of information, as a matter of fact, Felix, when it comes to metaverse adoption, I'll tell you stats and you would be surprised. According to Gartner Research, which is one of the largest research companies of the world, 30% of the world population will be spending 1 hour every day on a metaverse. So that means every day we will have 2 billion hours consumed in in a metaverse. Can you imagine, like 2 billion hours? So we are this industry has taken shape, which is amazing, which gives me goosebumps the way we have evolved. And now to answer the question about marketplace, there are a lot of NFT marketplaces. Essentially, as a marketplace, this, when you look at OpenSea and when you look at other marketplaces, which I like in the likes of Amazon, Flipkart, and all of these other marketplaces, the pricing and the positioning of a piece or a commodity is dependent on the platform, whereas in a decentralized marketplace like OpenSea, it is the public that decides which would be kept where and what would be the price of it, right? So that makes it so decentralized that now the quality would be sold, not what I as a owner of an e-commerce platform wants to sell. Correct? That's the beauty of decentralization of a marketplace.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Another thing I was just thinking about and somebody made me aware of is the volume of transactions in these big NFT marketplaces such as OpenSea. It is in fact something Amazon is dreaming about, right? I mean, you see these pictures and everything, getting something on OpenSea for less than $500 seems like a bargain to make, right? It's on sale, amazing. So this is another interesting stat to look at. Rishabh, I would love to talk more with you, and I feel there's also a lot of connections that we can make for Dash, for payments, for reaching out into India, into Africa, into all these different projects that you're involved in. So let's take that offline. Sadly for all of you, I'm sorry guys, but I hope we can have you again sometime. Thank you really much for your time. Thank you for these insights, and everybody, thank you for watching. We see you here again in 2 weeks. 30 minutes in Dash. I'm your host, Felix. Thank you, Rishabh, for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
CNETv, the first and leading 24/7 live broadcasting blockchain, cryptocurrency, and fintech TV application. On our mobile app, you have access to our latest news updates ranging from esports, fintech, iGaming, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. We bring to you interviews, analyses, cryptocurrencies, market reviews, and live events. Download our app today from your iOS or Google Play Store or on our website at CNETv.io. CNETv, objectivity is our watchword.